those eyes without sparking song. Electrify my heart.
So welcome to another Racing Records podcast. I'm Ryan Sharkey. I'm joined by my regular co-hosts Dean Haggerty and Martin Julian. Welcome back, Martin. You were missing for the last podcast. We're also joined by special guests Danny Mcmenamin and Poppy Bridgewater. We'll also have Nick Bradley on a little bit later. So it's an absolute pleasure to have you both on here. So we're going to jump straight into it, lads. Firstly, let's get to know a bit about yourselves, your racing background and that. Poppy, your father's obviously a trainer, so you have a family background in that. And would you say him being a trainer has affected your career path and made you become a jockey?
Yeah, eventually I just couldn't stay away and he couldn't keep me away, so.
And would you have been around the yard a lot?
Yeah, I mean, growing up I was always around the racehorses. I had a little pony myself. I was desperate to do pony racing, but I wasn't allowed to, which looking back was probably a good thing because some of those little ponies can be quite naughty. I won't swear, but they can be quite naughty, can't they?
And, Danny, what about yourself? Have you come from a racing background?
No, none of my family had anything to do with racing before I started. I'd say just a couple neighbours down the road from me had a couple of horses, and that's how I got into the horse racing industry. But I'm nearly one.
And what yard or that did you go to start off with?
Well, I started off with Brian Halton. Jardy's a point-to-point trainer in Northern Ireland. That's where I started off as a young kid, going in Saturday mornings and just whenever I was off school and stuff like that. And then summertime, I'd be there every day over the summer and doing what I can do.
And so obviously we don't have any racing on at the minute. And how are you passing your time? Are you still riding out or?
I'm not right now at the minute. I've been given a week or two off work, but it's hard to get past in the day. But you just have to do your best, don't you? Keep the mind active and stay fit.
That's it, exactly. And Poppy, what about yourself? Are you keeping busy?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still riding out as usual. I'm up in Newmarket and all the gallops are open and everything's pretty normal. It's just in between work. I've been doing a lot of running just to try and wear myself out so I can sleep at night. I'm getting so bored.
Yeah, it gets boring very quickly.
Yeah.
It's just all about keeping yourself active at this time,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think I must be doing 6+ miles a day, and then it's kind of 8-9 o'clock at night. I'm like, right, I'll go on another walk just so I can sleep when I get back. Yeah, I've probably been the fittest I've ever been.
I'd be lucky to do one of them.
Poppy, what's your favourite track in England and your best memory there?
Definitely Brighton. I've had a lot of luck at Brighton. I've got quite a good strike. I wouldn't know my strike rate, but I think I've got quite a good strike rate there. My best memory was probably I rode a horse called Paula Victor, and I've won 4 races on him. 3 of them were at Brighton, and one day he was refusing to go down to the start, so I had to run him. I think it was a 7-furlong race. I had to run him 7 furlongs up that Brighton hill, and when I got there, they legged me straight back up and had to go again, and luckily he won. But at the time, I was a bit pissed, but it's quite funny. It's quite funny. It was a good day.
Yeah, I think I actually remember that race. All right.
Yeah.
It'll be a long run to the start down at Brighton, definitely.
Oh God, yeah. I came back in the owners were after feedback, and I was just like, gonna have to give me a minute to catch my breath because I've just done a lot here.
A tough race and a 7-furlong run.
Yeah. Oh my.
Danny, I remember whenever you first caught my attention. You rode a horse called Ringer Ringer Rosie. You ended up sliding back through the field that day and did last, and the race looked over. But then all of a sudden, turning out of the top of the back straight at Sedgefield, you were beginning to stay on and ended up winning the race that day. Could you talk us through what the race was like for you? The horse actually traded at 999 to 1 on play. So I'd say there would have been a few others that might have pulled the horse up, but did she give you any feel that she had plenty more left to give?
Yeah, look, she's one of them horses. She normally likes to go from the front and get everything her own way, but that day they were always constantly on her tail and pressing for the lead, and they were getting a better offer, and she just started coming back underneath me. But one thing you can't do is give up on her. You just have to keep sort of go through the motions, and what a knew that she would stay anyway. So I just kept rolling away, and she's winged the third last top of the hill, and I've got a lovely run up the inside, and all of a sudden she just got rolling, and that was it.
Yeah, I mind standing watching that race that day. I thought to myself, holy Christ, where's this thing come from? Like, it really came from out of the blue.
She did, yeah. I was out of the back straight. I was looked up. I was like, oh, if I can get her home, I'll be happy enough and just get a nice run into her. But look, it's all credit to her. She dug deep and she got up right to the line.
She seemed very gutsy that day now, definitely.
And Danny, you rode 28 winners in 2020, and you finished the season on a high, winning at Wetherby. And what would you say was your best ride of the season?
Well, I wouldn't like to say what my best ride was. I wouldn't have a clue. I'd probably say riding a winner for Andrew Crook wasn't my best ride, but it was something that it was nice to do because he's a hard-working trainer in Midland, and he hasn't had a winner for over 3 years, and luckily everything fell right that day, and to ride a winner for him, he's been a supporter of mine since I started out, and it was nice to pay him back a winner.
Definitely was, and your percentage rate is quite good this year. It's 13% winning rate.
That's not bad. I'll take that.
Moving on to you, Poppy. There's one horse I want to talk to you about in particular. Clap Your Hands. I mentioned him in the last podcast. He was your last winner, was it?
Yeah.
And I put him in my couple of horses to follow for this year. Just how special is he?
Yeah, well, I think it's funny because I think he's all about confidence, that horse. You know, he was getting beat in similar races, and then the second he put his nose in front of Chelmsford, it was just like the tables had turned for him. And obviously he obviously prefers Wolverhampton a lot more than he did Chelmsford. Obviously he won really impressively both days at Wolverhampton, and he's been put away now, but he is exciting. We look forward to when he comes back. Hopefully they'll claim off him in a nice handicap.
Yeah, he's just the way he rode that was incredible. Like, you barely moved a muscle on him.
Oh, I think it's the easiest day of my life. I wouldn't mind more of them.
Yeah, you'll take them all day.
Yeah. No, he's got a lot of talent.
And is there any race in particular that you have dreamed of winning?
Dream of winning. To be honest, I've been this is completely the wrong answer, but I've always been brought up in jumps racing, so I've always looked at all the big jumps racing, but obviously I can't really name a jumps race, can I? Kind of got to pick a flat. But I've always wanted to ride in the Grand National, obviously being a girl, but that's just ridiculous and a completely ridiculous answer, but that would probably be my answer.
You never know.
That'd be some story. Flat jockey going and winning the Grand National.
Just one ride around the Grand National, happy days.
I'd say I'd have to be the same. It'd be a national, or the Gold Cup. Any of them to happily take, but it'd take some getting.
No flat races for you, Danny.
No, no, not for me.
Gotta
I'll leave that
imagine
up to Poppy.
Poppy again. Jockeys come in for a lot of online abuse. I mind last year, you were subject to some of this. How does a young jockey at 21 years of age handle it, and how does it make you feel, not just about racing, but about yourself?
I mean, last year I kind of took it a lot more to heart, and it did affect me a lot more. Just before you go out for a race, if you're on an odds-on favourite, you're thinking, oh my God, I'm definitely going to come into a bit of abuse if this gets beat. And it was really playing on my mind. But I mean, this year, I think you just learn to laugh at it. And I think horses, they're either going to win or they're not. And 9 times out of 10, it's not really the jockey's fault. So I've just learned to laugh at it, to be honest. I just retweet it and I just think it's funny.
Yeah, it's one of them ones, like, you see people, they have to take it out in somebody, like they don't take it out in themselves for the them backing the wrong horse, or something might happen to the horse on play, or on running. And I mind recently watching a race where Catchy at Lingfield, whenever he was pulled up near enough just after starting, I mind a few people saying to me, "Oh God, that's the biggest fix. That thing there, that's the big."
Oh yeah.
I was like, "But you don't know what happened there."
No, exactly.
The jockey's not out there for the punter. The jockey's out there to do the best thing for themselves, first and foremost, and the horse is up there as well. Like, the horse's welfare is most important.
Yeah. I mean, quite often you click on these pages and people that are sending you abuse, and the tweet just behind you is like abusing Ryan Moore, and you're like, come on. So you've just got to kind of ignore it and just laugh.
Yeah, well, Ryan Moore probably doesn't help himself whenever he leaves it so late to try and come on the races. Like, he probably doesn't help himself. Like, but whenever people take it out, and more times than enough, it's always just a profile made up just to abuse somebody. Like, they don't use their own profile because they're not man enough.
No, definitely.
They're a keyboard warrior.
Yeah.
Danny.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry, Ryan, go ahead.
No, work.
Danny, one of the horses you get on particularly well with is Nutswell. You've won 3 times on him. Is there a key bond that some horses have with their jockeys?
I would say so. Some jockeys to some horses and some jockeys don't. It's just sort of the way it is. I was lucky enough to get on this season at Weatherby. It's the first time, and I remember I rang my agent on the way down. He says, I think they've been riding him wrong. Be right positive and give him a nice positive ride." Luckily that day he went and won, and that's why we've been riding him since, and he went on to win another 2 after that and run a good race at Doncaster.
Poppy, quick question from me. Do you prefer to ride on the turf or the all-weather? Because you've roughly got about a 50-50 split, haven't you, as far as rides go between the two?
I probably prefer the turf. I do enjoy riding around the all-weather. I know quite a lot of people don't, but the only thing about the all-weather is I think it's a lot about luck in running, and you can be quite unlucky and you miss winners you probably should have had because the gaps just close, and it's not as noticeable on the turf. So I find it's just a bit fairer when you ride on the turf. So I probably would prefer it on the turf.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, at Dundalk most weeks, and you notice that an awful lot. Like odds-on favourites getting bet just because can't find the gap.
Yeah, I mean it's so common, and it's just. Yeah, I just find the turf a lot fairer. I find on the all-weather you're always kind of going for a gap, and everyone's going for the same gap, and then it just doesn't happen, and it's just.
If you had the chance to ride any horse, past or present, who would you choose and why?
I'm going to name a dumps horse now again. I'd love to ride a horse called Winnie the Witch. My dad won on him as a jockey at Cheltenham. Or I think it was a mare actually, but won on her at Cheltenham, and I've heard a lot of stories. Obviously, my granddad trained her, and I'd love to have ridden that horse just because of the kind of family connection, I suppose. But as opposed to flat horses, I'd love to have sat on Roaring Lion because I think he's incredible.
Yeah, he was certainly incredible.
Yeah.
And, Danny, what about you?
I'd say Kato Star. It would have been if it was one, it would be him to be set on, because all the things he did in his career would have propelled any young lad from where they are now to right to the top. But I'd say on the flat it'd be Frankel.
Yeah, he would have had a lot of success on both of them.
Yeah, it would have been all right.
Yeah, you would have had a good career. And Poppy, why didn't you race over jumps? Why was it the flat?
I was going to get my amateur over jumps. Again, my dad was always quite anti me doing it. Obviously, the falls, and I think women are definitely, likes of Rachel Blackmore, is on par and above some of the lads. I think she's a brilliant rider, and you can't tell her apart. But I just don't think, for me personally, I don't think I would be able to take the falls. I think I probably break too easily, and I was light enough to go on the flats, so it kind of made sense. I think men probably wouldn't break as easily as women, or maybe that's just me. Maybe I have weak bones. I seem to crack.
Yeah, no, Rachel Blackmore is just incredible. Like, she will probably be champion jockey in Ireland very, very soon.
Yeah, she's just different level. I don't think I've ever seen anyone ride like her.
In my opinion, she's the best jumps jockey in Ireland at the minute, hands down. Like,
yeah, I would agree.
Poppy, do you take advice from any of the other female jockeys, or do you tend to take advice from the males, or do you just ignore the pair of them?
No, I definitely do. Hayley Turner's brilliant, and Josie Gordon, she's brilliant, and the lads are all. I'd listen to Stevie Donahue if he told me something. I think I pick and choose who I listen to, but they're all very helpful, and I do take advice from them.
And a question to both of you, really. Since we've all been locked up and having to find things out about ourselves, is there one thing that you've learnt about yourselves that you can share?
I wouldn't be. I don't know what else I'd do if it wasn't a jockey. Everything else just seems quite boring.
Have you learnt any new skills while we've been locked up over the last month or so?
To be fair, I thought I'm a bit of a nutcase, and I don't like being sat inside. And I've started cooking, which is really bizarre for me. I'm getting quite into my cooking.
you're talking to the right man there. Martin has a cooking page.
Well, we were thinking, weren't we, Ryan, about setting a little challenge, actually. Do you wanna talk that through?
That's all on Dean.
You there, Dean?
Yeah. Right, but that was one of my questions for Poppy. You recently took Twitter by storm with your cooking skills. Do you still continue to cook, and what's your favourite dish?
Yeah, no, I definitely want to keep cooking and keep getting better. I love cooking a roast. I do enjoy cooking a roast because everyone loves a roast. I don't like cooking for something that somebody doesn't like. So everyone loves a roast.
Our Racing Records group chat on Facebook at the minute has since we've been in lockdown has been full of pictures of delicious looking food. Do you think you've got what it takes to attempt one of our favourite dishes?
Oh God, I can try.
Danny, this kind of goes for you. Do you cook, Danny?
Not very often, no.
we were going to do a challenge maybe between the two jockeys.
Oh my God.
Martin can probably explain a wee bit more on it.
Okay, we were gonna set you a nice, easy challenge. We thought about it for a while, and we decided it'd be really good if you could both cook a stir fry,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
and
That's easy.
then of your own of your own making, containing whatever you wanted it to be, and then send us some pictures so we can judge it. Unfortunately, we can't taste it.
That's the
Yeah, I'd
lucky
do
part.
that.
I think
I'm up for that.
I think we'll ask Twitter maybe to help us out a wee bit, and you never know. I think we might have a prize for the winner, do we, Ryan?
We do, yeah.
We'll get a prize sent off to the winner then. Just one last question, I suppose, from me for the both of you is where's the dream track in England and Ireland for you both to ride a winner?
Mine's to be at Cheltenham, the festival. That'll be a dream. In Ireland, I'd say Punchestown.
And Poppy?
I'd have to say Ascot. I had a winner at Ascot, but I'd like a Royal Ascot if you're gonna aim for the aim big.
Yeah. And if you had to ride one in Ireland?
Oh God, my alarm. I'm not too sure really.
There does be, as I was saying to Ryan earlier on, I think there be a race every year. I think Haley Turner won it last year or the year before for Joseph O'Brien with a Tyrian Flame. It was something like that might interest you.
Yeah. It was a ladies' race, wasn't it?
It was a ladies' race, yeah.
Yeah, no, I would, yeah. Probably that. I would quite like, yeah.
Right, Ryan, you're going to have a word with your friends there, Ryan, and see if we can get Poppy over to riding that race. Be sure she's a good chance now.
So,
And
hands would be good.
what was that, Poppy? Sorry.
I said something like clap your hands would be good. I can just steer.
Yeah.
Take him over to Dundalk on Friday night.
We'd definitely all be able to watch that. And have either of you ridden in Ireland before? Like, I know Danny, you might have.
Yeah, I went back last summer to ride at my local track down Patrick for my old boss who used to work for Brian Hamilton. It was nice to get a ride in front of all my family and friends and whatsoever, but nice to finish second, but despite being at 100 to 1, so I was happy.
That's all the questions we have for you. It's been an absolute pleasure having both of you on, and we want to wish you the very best of luck when racing returns, obviously. And I'm sure we'll be hearing your names in the headlines a lot more. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, thank you.
I don't know if you've seen it, but the Racing Post did a video and they got people to sort of name horses for each letter of the alphabet.
Oh, Christ.
Oh, bloody
And
hell.
they gave them 30 seconds to name as many as possible, going through the alphabet from A to Z. So we're going to do the exact same.
Oh, Jesus.
And Dean, we're going to start with you.
Oh, Jesus Christ, you're putting me on this.
Yeah. Right. A.
Amaron.
B.
Bacardi's.
B.
Clap your hands.
D.
Duke de Geneva.
E.
Epitant.
F.
Oh, Christ. F.
Time.
I didn't think that far forward. Jesus.
Right, Martin, you ready?
Go on then.
A.
Altior.
B.
Barnbook again.
C.
Captain Chris.
D.
Duvan.
E.
Epiton.
F.
Fisher's Cross.
G.
G. Oh. G.
And time.
Jesus.
That wasn't.
Said Frankel for it. Like.
I'd say Galileo.
Galileo and Frankel, like. F and G are like the two easy ones.
I never thought of it in that way.
Look at those eyes without sparking song. Electrify my heart.